Hi, friends. I'm Scott Giles, and welcome to Power Talk, my podcast here on Facebook Live and YouTube. I cover topics related to spirituality, hypno-coaching, and the hypnotic arts and sciences generally. If you'd like to know more about my professional work, and I hope you do, feel free to check out my website, which I'll tag at the end of this video. Today, I want to talk about an old saying that many of you have probably heard before. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I've also heard it, as I'll note in a moment, keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. In either case, it's wise advice. Take care of the people who are on your side and who you think will have your back. And keep a weather eye on those people who might be hostile toward you so that you don't get blindsided. Where does this saying come from? Well, most people, I think, probably heard it first in the movie The Godfather, where this line is spoken by actor Al Pacino in his role as Michael Corleone in The Godfather Part 2 from 1974. My father taught me many things here. He taught me in this room. He taught me keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. Now, there are a number of sources that claim this quote is actually of ancient lineage. One school of thought traces it to the work of Niccolo Machiavelli, who in his book The Prince, he gives political advice to the rulers in Renaissance Europe. Others attribute it to no less a person than Mongol Emperor Genghis Khan. Another possible source is that it was written by one of the greatest martial artists of all time, Sun Tzu, who lived during about the 5th century before the Common Era. His book, The Art of War, is still in print today and is widely studied in business schools, military schools, and of course by martial artists. Sun Tzu wrote, "It is said that if you know your enemies and know yourself, you will not be imperiled in 100 battles." Now, this isn't the same quote as keep your friends close, but your enemies closer, but it's similar. And there are relevant passages from Machiavelli or Genghis Khan that are also similar. So I think it's simply a case that great minds do think somewhat alike. The idea seems to me a sound one. Friends are a real treasure, and all friendships require some work and effort to keep them going. But most people would agree that a good friendship is well worth it. What hangs some people up is the second part of that quotation, keep your enemies closer. What in the world could that mean, and why would you want to do that? I take a clue from the modern poem Desiderata by Max Ehrmann. This poem is famous and often misattributed to an old inscription, but it's modern, written and copyrighted in 1927. One line from this poem goes, "Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism." Well, I think that's spot on. There are many fine people in the world, and typically they get overlooked. But there are plenty of crooked people in the world too, and so caution is needed. Keep them close really means keep an eye on them and don't give them a shot at your back. That can be a hard lesson, and it's a lesson no one wants to learn. But most of us will experience the consequences of not having learned it at least once in a lifetime. I know I have. I had a business associate I've known for years steal from me, and he got away with it because I took my eye off him and just assumed he would be a good guy. Well, now I maintain a higher standard of suspicion where financial matters are concerned, and I'm better for it. Keep your enemies closer. All this said, I think there is even another layer of meaning in the saying that the philosophical person can mine with benefit. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. The ancient philosopher Seneca, in a letter he wrote to his lead student in ancient Greece, the student was Lucilius, he wrote, associate with those who will make a better person of you. Welcome those whom you yourself can improve. Why this touches me so deeply is that I've come to agree with the motivational speaker Jim Rome, who proposed that, we become like the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Human beings are social creatures, even strong introverts like myself. As mystic Martin Buber put it in his book I and Thou, the way that any of us learn who we are is by paying attention to the way we are reflected in the eyes and behavior of people around us. In order for me to be me, I need you to be you, and I discover who I am by seeing how you respond to me. Well, Rome intended his observation to motivate people to be mindful of who they spend time with, and to spend time with people who can improve us. I think that's right, although perhaps a bit of an overstatement. We are each unique personalities, and that uniqueness, I think, endures regardless of the 5 people we most favor. My take is to be mindful of the values and quality of the people I give time to. And by give time to, I mean more than just associate with. I mean that too, but also who you listen to, what podcasts you pay attention to, who you read, and so on. I mean, trashy novels are fine for recreation. I'm a big fan myself of dystopian science fiction, but read some more profound and meatier volumes as well. Because I do think it is true that the values and worldview of the 5 or so people you give the most attention to will come to influence you for good or ill. So do what you can to ensure that that influence is for the good. Hey, thank you for your time and attention today. I'll be back next week with another talk on a different subject. I'd like to invite you to join me. It does help me if you let others know about my videos, so please like, share, and subscribe. If I can be of help to you, feel free to reach out through email, my website, or my Patreon channel. Stay well and stay safe.